Well, hello Toowoomba. Welcome to another episode from the Talking Toowoomba bunker after yet another week of isolation. In this episode, we want to try and solve some problems and lift your spirits a little. We talk things to do to brighten your days and make you feel happy. And with Mother's Day under a fortnight away, we thought our guests might give you some gift ideas as we embark on yet another celebration that will be marked somewhat differently. Art and painting with Kristy from Kreate It, singing and musical messages with Marianne from Marianne and her microphone, and Joy from Canvas Co-working about what they do and perhaps how to solve that problem of overcrowding with everyone being at home. Now let's get talking, Toowoomba. And this morning I'm chatting with Kristy. Morning, Kristy.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm well. So tell me a little bit about the Kristy story.
I'm Kristy from Kreate It. So I'm a young mother in Toowoomba who owns a creative business who runs painting workshops for beginner-friendly clients, I suppose. I do a lot of workshops around the region as well, so not just in Toowoomba, around the Darling Downs and out west and down near Brisbane Way as well. As also that I run one-on-one workshops, team building, corporate stuff. I do commissions, pretty much everything and anything I can put a paintbrush on, I will paint.
Okay. How long have you been doing this?
A few years now that I've been running as an actual business, but painting has been part of my life since primary school, high school sort of days. But only been the past few years I've actually started to endeavour a bit more into the business sort of side of it.
I've got to ask the obvious question here. How long was it before you stopped using your fingers and picked up a paintbrush?
I still use my fingers.
Oh, dear. Okay, so what types of things or subjects do you like to paint?
At the moment, it's very animal-based, I've noticed, but a lot of nature as well. So, landscapes, flowers, trees, all the rest of it. I don't really do a whole lot of, buildings and that because they're just boring. It's just, four walls. So I usually stick to something a bit more interesting that has a bit more of a personality, which essentially is the animals.
Okay, now, obviously, you are quite a talented artist because I've been doing a little bit of research and looking around at some of the things you've painted, and can I say they're just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
People can purchase paintings through you off your website, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So you can purchase either through the website or contact me directly, and I can actually do a custom painting for people as well. So I've just recently been doing a whole bunch of pet portraits for people as well as pretty much everything and anything you toss at me, I will give it a go.
All right. So your website is?
My website is www.kreateit, so it's kreateit.com.au.
If somebody's out there who's got a little bit of talent and wants to get improvement, or if there's someone like me whose artistic skills basically are the letters MOQ drawn underneath each other, and if you put them close enough together, it sort of looks like a pussycat. Can you help someone like me paint a bit better than MOQ?
Let's just say everybody can be creative with Kreate It. So yes, I can. Even if you haven't even picked up a paintbrush before, I will teach you how to do that particular subject. So in my classes, it's very step-by-step, very one-on-one as well. So I keep my class sizes quite small so I can actually come around to everyone and we can sort of do a bit of plastic surgery, as it is, on the canvas only, and have a bit of fun that way. So you will definitely walk out with something. I promise you that, something.
Okay, so it may not be a Van Gogh then.
Well, hey, if it's not a Van Gogh, you can take mine away and go, hey, look what I did.
Okay, so how do people get involved?
Well, essentially, I do a whole bunch of public sporadic workshops. So I'll upload a few workshops that will then go onto my Facebook page as well as the website. And also then my email newsletter subscriber people will get first look at that. And just a bit of a note, if you go on my website, you can subscribe to the email. And then they get first pick of all the workshops that come up. And you pretty much just come along and I supply tea, coffee, and pretty much everything and anything you can possibly imagine to create that artwork, and you walk away with it fully strung, ready to go on your wall at the end of it. So, yeah.
Sounds great. Now, I ask all my guests this same question, so you're not going to escape it either.
Here we go.
What's your favourite thing about living in Toowoomba?
Carnival of Flowers, easy one.
I can imagine
Definitely
that would sit well with you, yes.
Honestly, I love it. I sit there and just the atmosphere, the people, the feel of Toowoomba, but then, like, look at it, colours everywhere. So it's like sort of my little playground. Fantastic.
You'd be a bit like a child in a lolly shop.
You have no idea.
All right, then. Well, I hope to catch up with you soon, and I'm going to put you to that challenge of making me create something a little bit better than MOQ.
Well, I think we might have to get you in class then. Definitely.
Sounds like a plan, Kristy. Thanks for your time this morning.
No problem. Thank you.
You have a great day. Bye now.
Bye.
Mother's Day is just around the corner, and I thought I would get a guest on who has something very unique for Mother's Day. But before we get to that, I want you to meet Marianne. Good morning, Marianne.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Tell us a little bit about Marianne, first of all.
Of course, yes. So my business name is Marianne and Her Microphone, which aptly names what I do, I think. I'm a happy girl if I have a microphone in my hand. I've been a singer for 21 years now, and I started off in pubs and clubs and things like that, and then have slowly worked through to, an international singer, and of course auditioned for X Factor and all that kind of jazz as well. And then since I've had my children, I've toned it down a little bit from going out and live singing in pubs, but more turned it to events. So my favourite thing to do is weddings. I'm an absolute romantic at heart, and just love a good love song or a ballad. Weddings are where I love to be. And also now do musical messages. So I can normally, apart from in this current climate, I can go out and deliver musical messages in person to people, so they get that special gift in a song.
Okay, so we'll get to the musical messages in a minute. You've also, I believe, if my information is correct, have performed on cruise ships as a singer.
Yes, that's right. So I've performed in a few different countries, actually. So it started off just as a bit of fun. I started on a few holidays. I got to know the entertainment managers and sang in a few resorts. So did some singing that way. And then I wanted to go and do a little bit of traveling. So I went and cruised the Caribbean. And I did the East and West Caribbean. I was very fortunate, got to go to lots of beautiful countries, and got to sing on the cruise ships too, which was great.
I've got to ask the obvious question. Did you ever sing on the Love Boat?
You know what? I don't know. That's one thing I can't tick off. You guys might not know this, but there was a show on the telly when I was growing up called, let me think what it was called, actually. It was with Timmy Mallet. And there was this little bit that he did in the show, which was called Singing in the Shower. And he literally got people to call up and pretended they were in the shower, and he was stood there in his shower cap and his brush, and got you to call in and sing. And I did that when I was little. And then growing up since then, as I said, I did Pop Idol, actually, but I can't say that because, again, most people won't know what Pop Idol is. That was many moons ago, but the equivalent of X Factor.
Okay, so you've started your business, Marianne, on a microphone. Okay, we know you're a singer and you do singing messages, which we're going to leave till the end to talk about. But there's other things that you do with Marianne and a microphone, isn't there?
Oh, yes, sorry. So I said I'm a happy gal with a microphone in my hand, but as well as singing, I also MC. So I have hosted and MC'd a number of events over the years, some of them my own events and some of them other people's. And they've ranged from, weddings and parties, but also I hosted a talent show back at home for a few years. Nothing huge. I can't say I'm famous. But yeah, did a talent show back at home, which was loads of fun. And then now over here in Toowoomba, I get to organise Toowoomba's largest girls' night in and get to host and sing at that as well.
So now let's talk about the singing messages that you do.
Yes, I love these.
Tell us a little bit about this in general.
Yeah, certainly will. So I was trying to come up with a way that I could use my skill but not have to go out and stand in pubs singing, in dark and, I can't really say smoky environments anymore, can I? That shows my age. We don't smoke in pubs anymore. Because I've now got a young family, I would prefer not to be out late at night and carrying equipment around and everything. Yeah, so came up with this idea of musical messages to be a unique and modern spin on singing telegram. So rather than it having the gimmicks and the costumes and things like that, I thought I'd turn it into something a bit more personal, something that gave a lot of kind of heartfelt emotion and feeling behind what was given. So I promised to my clients that I will give them that memorable moment, because I think most people, I could even say everybody, has a special song or will see a song as being special by the lyrics or the way that it's delivered. So the feedback I've been having from my musical messages is that they are just wonderful. They're unique. They've been blown away. Some have been crying. Some have been laughing with good tears, of course. But I've had all kinds of emotion depending on what the gift has been given for. But it's been really great, and it's taken off really well. I'm just so pleased that, as I said, I can offer something that suits my personality as a host and a performer, but also that suits my family. So I can go and do it around school hours or around work for my husband, that kind of thing.
Which leads us to what we're going to be offering for Mother's Day this year. What have you got up your sleeve for families to be able to provide something special for Mum for Mother's Day this year?
Yeah, so I've had to do a little bit of thinking around this one because, of course, I want to be responsible with coronavirus and the isolation and the distancing and all of that. So rather than me turning up on a doorstep and delivering a musical message that way, I can now offer that by email. So I would email it direct to the client or the loved one with that chosen song, and I also record a personal message. Or the other option is, which most people are doing now, obviously in isolation, people are turning to Zoom or FaceTime or things like that, or Skype, so that they can actually have these family meetings. And rather than having a party, they're obviously having this special time on an online platform. So what I can offer is if you can dial me in to that meeting, then I will come in as kind of a special guest and be able to perform that song for Mum.
I think that's such a sensational idea, Marianne. And
Thank you.
Let's face it, this year in particular with, as you said, with Corona, things are very different for so many people in so many different ways, but we still like to be able to do special things at special times like Mother's Day, and I think this is a brilliant idea of yours. I really do.
Thank you very much. I'm really pleased with it because I know what it's like. So obviously from my accent, so I'm from England. I'm not a true blue Aussie, not yet. But my family is still in England, and I know how hard it is to be away from family, friends, loved ones. And sometimes all that you do have is that contact of the Skype or the FaceTime, and to have that regular check-in, regular chat. So, of course, so many people are now turning to that while they're in isolation so that they can keep in touch with their loved ones. And as I said, I think song or music is such a special thing for so many people. And if I can offer a way of making that person feel not quite so lonely or not quite so isolated, and just showing them that little bit of love from their family, then I would absolutely treasure those moments myself as a performer, but as a mum, knowing how important that is to get that message from your family.
So what's the best way for people to get in contact with you to organise one of these special Mother's Day messages?
Really easy. Probably most people these days are on Facebook. I will give you a phone number as well, so get ready with a pen and a piece of paper. But most people on Facebook, so you can just find me, Marianne and her microphone. and just drop me a message or pop a comment into there, and I can let you know all of the details and get the booking. And the joy, of course, with sending them by email is that I can get that done beforehand. So there'll be plenty of space for people to get in and book that up before Mother's Day, so plenty of time. Other option, as I said, by phone. If you would prefer to call, just give me a call. Telephone number is 0478 028 314. And yeah, we can chat through that special song. I'm just going to throw in one thing as well. I have so many people, Shane, that say to me, we'd love to book you for a musical message. I say, fantastic. What's the occasion? Who's the loved one? And they tell me all of that information. And then I say, okay, what song would you like? And they say, oh, goodness, I have no idea. I don't know. What do you suggest? So just for those people that don't actually have a special song already or wouldn't know, their loved ones or mothers in this case, favourite song, that's fine. We can work through that together. So I have a large repertoire that I can choose from, but I'm also, again, blowing my own trumpet. Sorry, this is terrible, but I'm more than happy to learn new songs. I can learn songs pretty quickly and adapt those. So if there is a special song that we can come up with between us with some suggestions and some ideas going backwards and forwards, then I'm more than happy to learn that and record that for you too.
Marianne, I want to thank you very much for coming on this morning on the podcast. I think, as I said earlier, I think this is a brilliant way to send a special message to Mum for Mother's Day.
Thank you so much for having me as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yes, I do too. As I said, as a mum and as a performer, I think it's one of those really special things that will give those memories and will never be forgotten. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about them.
Good to chat. Chat again soon. Bye, Marianne.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Talking Toowoomba with Shane Adamson. Hear more of Talking Toowoomba on your favourite podcast app or go to talkingtoowoomba.com.au.
I'm having a chat with Joy Taylor from Canvas Co-working about how they are changing and adapting their services during COVID-19. Morning, Joy, and welcome to Talking Toowoomba.
Thanks, Shane. Good morning to you too.
Now, Joy, can you give us a bit of a brief rundown on what Canvas Co-working offers small business?
Sure. So we actually offer a variety of different things to different types of businesses depending on what they need. And that's usually based on what stage they're at, as well as the size of the business in terms of the number of employees that they have. So a lot of the people that we deal with are self-employed or sole traders or sometimes startup entrepreneurs. And for them, a lot of what we do is actually provide them with the ability to learn what they do not yet know. And for those who've left a corporate career and are starting off their own business, they soon realise that there's quite a lot that they don't know. So we help them out with that. So we run a variety of different programs and workshops that help. Then we also do coaching where required if people need a little bit more support than what is available through the program. And in addition to that, and what most people tend to think of when they think of us, is we have a physical space here in Toowoomba that has desks in it and offices where people who could work from anywhere come and work from here so that they're around other people and they know that they're not totally alone in the world, being the only one sitting in their little, bedroom or at their dining table working on their business.
Okay. Now, obviously, COVID-19's thrown everyone a bit of a curveball. What different things are you offering due to this current situation?
Sure. It certainly has thrown us a curveball, and being a physical location where a lot of things are done here on the premises, we have temporarily closed to the public. So we've moved a lot of our workshops and programs online. So if someone was looking to learn about, how to use Zoom, for example, so they can run a program themselves with their clients online, they could do that now with us through an online platform. So we have taken a lot of our programs online. We also are now doing virtual co-working. So for people who usually come and work from the co-working space at our casual desks or our co-working members, able to connect with each other a couple of times a day and keep working, but just know that there's other people out there who are working as well, and we chat about all different types of stuff. And we do that at 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. and also again from 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And anyone's actually welcome to join us for those. So they're online via Zoom. There's no cost. You can find the link on our Facebook events page and just join in. So that's one part that we're doing. And then something that we're just about to launch now, and by the time this goes to air, hopefully it will be launched, is actually utilising our physical space again, but in a slightly restricted way in terms of not being open still to the public. We're not doing that yet. And not utilising our open plan co-working area. But what people might not realise is that here at Canvas Co-working, we have 12 offices that are available for people to use, usually on a month-by-month basis. And a lot of our tenants have been with us for quite some time. But we do have some of those offices that we use for programs, so they're all empty at the moment. And we know that people out there at home who are, either in an area that doesn't have very good internet and they're really struggling with that, particularly if they've got a lot of online calls to do, which are very heavy on bandwidth, or perhaps their children are now home and, back to their studies, being homeschooled, and they might require additional space in the house. So they might be taking over what was the office or, another part of the house that maybe someone was planning to use themselves for their home office, and it just might not work logistically in the house anymore. So these offices that we have down here are available. We're now going to make them available for people, not on just a day-by-day basis, but on a more permanent, probably 1 month, we think. At this stage is probably what we're expecting it will be, but even a few weeks where someone can come and go when they need to. So they'll have full access to the office and they'll be able to come and work from here. They're already all set up with furniture. We run high-speed Wi-Fi, so NBN Wi-Fi here, although a couple of the offices do have Ethernet available, but the rest are just Wi-Fi only. Obviously, electricity is included with that as well, but they're all set up really just to bring your own device and sit down and get to work, and just making them available for people who, just can't work at home, because we've realised that that's an issue.
That sounds like a great idea. I think that's terrific. Now, how can people get in contact with you, or where can they go to get more information?
Sure. So we are available through pretty much any social media platform that you might be on. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. But the easiest way generally is to give us a call and just have a chat about where you're at and what you're doing. And then we can work out something that's suitable rather than messaging backwards and forwards. So you can just give me a call. My number's 0407 584 987. But if you're listening to this in the middle of the night, please don't call. Just send me an email. So you can email me, and the best one to use is bookings. So if you want to make a booking, bookings with an S on the end at canvascoworking.com.au, and then we can get back to you and organise a time to have a chat.
But they could also go to your website, couldn't they, if they want to have a bit of a look around generally what Canvas offers?
Absolutely, yeah. So don't go there expecting to see a lot about the offices as such, because we don't normally have to advertise them. There's a little bit of information on there, but they're usually used pretty permanently, so we don't have a lot of details on there about them, but about the organisation as a whole and the programs that we run, and a bit about the desks and the offices are there as well. And yeah, you can certainly go there. So canvascoworking.com.au, but otherwise, Facebook, Canvas Co-working, if that's easiest for you to remember.
Our company actually has a community membership with Canvas Co-working. We've found it very beneficial, and we highly recommend being a part of the Canvas community. So thanks for sharing all this with us, Joy, and I hope our listeners can now consider how you might be able to help them, not only at this particular time, but with their business into the future.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for the time, Shane.
You're welcome, Joy. Bye for now.
Bye.
Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure you subscribe to get the latest episode to keep up to date with businesses that are still operating and how you can support them and help keep as many members of this great community employed. Thanks to the Toowoomba Chamber of Commerce and 2 Cents Worth Toowoomba for your support. Check them both out on Facebook. We will get through this together. Stay safe. I'm Shane. See you around, Toowoomba.